The internet's darkest corners, bro. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this video, but I saw one of these videos, and bro, I was kind of left like, ooh, God, it's a little disturbed. So I'm ready for this. I'm ready to see exactly how bad this will be.
Instruments are dependable reference, which first
Bro is reacting to the side quest instead of the main quest. What's the main quest? Explain to me that one. I should react to satisfying videos. Bro, no. I don't, those are trash. Oh. Can I go back, please? Of course. I'm pretty sure that was a puppet. There's no way they put a puppet inside of a hospital bed for an ad. And what is this ad for? Innovation. Termination. Okay, bro. Okay. It's stupid.
officer and
Oh my god, I accidentally skipped to the end. Alright, oh, dude. Okay, stop. Just start it.
white and engine instruments are dependable reference, which first officer and captain
Alright, is the quality's good.
out into
Quality of
the
a container story.
find
Okay, can I
smooth
just... Oh my god.
which first officer
Contains stories and imagery that may disturb some views. Include death. Okay. Okay.
and captain
interesting.
peer out into the distance to find the smooth,
That
clear way.
ain't spooky, I agree.
August 31st, 1988. An airplane sits motionless at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport as passengers begin to slowly take their seats. 78 people in total were scheduled to fly that day, with the craft being piloted by Captain Larry Davis, First Officer Kerry Kirkland, and flight engineer Stephen Judd.
Okay, so
A
my
crew that
guess is
boasted
of
an
why they're talking about who's piloting is probably because it's gonna crash, and one of them decided to crash it.
impressive
my guess.
30,000 hours of flight time amongst them. It was a notably windy day for the flight
Oh
bound
no,
for
there's gonna
Salt
be
Lake
some
City,
sort of
Utah.
accident.
So much so that
I
by the
wouldn't say
time they
this
had
is
pulled away from the
disturbing.
gate
Who knows?
and reached the runway, a call was sent down to the cockpit directing them to hold their position for an additional minute, as the gusts now swelled more and more ferociously. The hold again left the craft stationary, allowing for a few moments in which the crew members spoke amongst themselves.
We forgot something on our first leg today. We forgot to discuss about the dating habits of our flight attendants so we can get it on the recorder, you know, in case we crashed and the media would have
It's gonna be a crash. Of course.
The voice you're hearing is that of First Officer Kerry Kirkland, who mentions a point that, in passing, seems completely out of the blue, that they should talk about the dating habits of their flight attendants, as it would give the media something to talk about in the event that they crashed. As bizarre as this line sounds, Kerry was actually referencing a separate incident that had happened not even a year before, with that being the crash of Flight 1713.
A few seconds of
Okay, why is it in my
indescribable
left
terror
ear?
on runway 35 left. Too many people die in an instant. We ask again, why them and not us?
In that scenario, the pilots of the flight had also been awaiting takeoff, this time in the midst of a brutal blizzard. And rather than discussing their takeoff, they instead had conversations about the stewardesses on board, joking and laughing amongst themselves about the manner in which they dated around, with these pilots getting so lost in that conversation that they completely forgot to de-ice their plane. A mistake
Okay.
they likely never even realized, as just moments after takeoff, rather than the plane soaring high above the ground, it raised only slightly before falling limp, crashing into the dirt below it and killing 28 people on
What?
board.
Wait, how high did it go? Wait, this is okay. This is a sad story. I wouldn't. Oh no. And this story, I guarantee, is just more of a reason why people will not fly planes. And I cannot
Including those
argue
two
against it.
pilots.
Like, how do you have pilots that just completely forget something that important? It's like, then it makes you wonder, if I go on my plane, are the pilots going to remember everything? You'd hope so, but are they really? Because all it takes is one, the leader, for example, to have a bad day, or, oh, I'm having a forgetful day. Boom, it's all over.
The story made national and international headlines, making it a topical reference for Kerry to bring up, yet also a clearly inappropriate one, as he had failed to notice the irony in his words. Following the crash of
Okay.
1713, new stricter guidelines were put in place so that pilots would keep their conversation focused on the takeoff process until they were well established in the air. Yet here, Carey was joking around with the crew, not even noticing that he too was creating a distraction. One that sucked in not
I
only one
get
of their
it.
flight attendants, but even the captain himself.
We were just
Oh.
talking yesterday, about
Wait, so they actually banned it? They made it so that you can't talk about anything besides work as like a cockpit person? That's crazy. I didn't know that.
191 seems to be the classic airline crash that the news media goes for every time.
Which led to Carey providing one last bit of gallows humor.
Yeah, you know that Continental that crashed in Denver? Did you read that? Yeah, they were talking about dating habits of one of the flight attendants. They're real nice. Yeah, they made me laugh, We gotta leave something for our wife and children to listen to.
Why? This is stupid.
He was well aware of just how much the media loved a good plane crash segment. And unbeknownst to
Why
that
is he
distracted
talking
crew
about
within
it,
the
though?
cockpit, they were about to give them a fresh story.
There's no way.
Power set. Engine instruments look good. Airspeed's coming up both sides. DR, D2. Engine failure. We got an engine failure.
Oh, nah. Off the rip?
141.
Dang. Oh. Okay, this is the type of stuff that creeps me out, bro. Oh my god, I got goosebumps all over, bro. Come on. It's like when you hear a video like that where it's like the audio of the last moments of a bunch of people, it's just disturbing.
22 seconds.
22 seconds?
That's all the airtime the craft could muster, as immediately upon the wheels
So what
lifting
happened?
off the ground, the craft began to roll right, with the wing striking the runway and catching on fire as it clipped a nearby
Oh my
antenna that was
God.
anchored to the ground. The plane was immediately uncontrollable and completely unable to gain any sort of significant altitude, as it fell into a pathetic descent and crashed into the dirt below it, sliding well over 1,000 feet before grinding to a halt. In the carnage, 14 people would lose their lives, including 2 of the flight attendants, while miraculously, all others survived,
Oh my
including
God.
everyone heard on this fateful recording.
Of
All of
course.
whom were swiftly fired, though not criminally convicted, despite
Oh.
the fact that the crash was deemed
Okay, I'm sorry, but okay, I gotta stop saying I'm sorry. But the point is no, they should be criminally convicted because there's literally a rule that is in place just to stop this, and they broke the rule. Like, you can't just be like, oh, it's fine. Then again, is it a crime to break rules of a company? Not necessarily. Well, no, whoa, I don't even know what the issue is though. What did they mess up?
to have been caused by their own human error. What the crew had failed to realize was that as they joked about the pilots of Flight 1713 and their untimely distraction, they too had distracted themselves to the point of forgetting an integral step of the takeoff process. They had failed to lower their wing flaps and slats for takeoff. And without these in proper position, the flight never stood a chance, making the final words inside that cockpit some of the most chillingly ironic ever recorded, with this audio going on to become yet another disturbing oddity found within the dark corners of the
Okay. Okay, I'll
Internet.
pause this. Yeah, things like this though, like, dude, how do you forget? I mean, I'm not a pilot, so I'm gonna sound like an idiot because I have no clue what I'm talking about. But how do you forget that? The flaps sounds pretty important. I don't know, but apparently you can't fly without them. Like, how do you forget that? This is what I'm talking about. This is why people have fear of planes. Now I'm like suspicious of all pilots and any plane I go into forever. Okay, that's not true. I'll probably forget about this in like 2 days, but whatever. I'll pretend like because let's be honest, like, it's so rare for stupid plane crashes to happen that it's like, dude, why fret over it? But at the same time, it's like, dude, if it happens, you're lucky in the wrong way. You beat the odds. Let's just say that. Ugh, I don't like this footage.
Before we get into our next case, I want to first
All right,
thank
get outta
today's
here.
detailed name, data brokers, but you recently wrong have to worry, and I value your style and that
He didn't know how much time had passed
What?
when he first
Okay,
noticed
what?
JJ didn't know how much time had passed.
That just looks
when
like
he first
Thomas's
noticed
drink.
the soundless haze that had moved in all around him. JJ could no longer see the stars or the moon.
Snapchats from the sky. Oh, come on. Doing another plain one? Okay,
the world
great.
of flying is often a scary and complex one, and our first case shows just how important it is for pilots to properly check their crafts before taking off. Something that, even as a pilot in training, 18-year-old Connor Quisenberry understood all too well. A well-studied student of the ATP flight school, Connor had made it his life's mission to become a pilot, completing a multitude of classes and courses at the school. And by the age of 18, only a few steps stood in the way of him obtaining his private pilot's license.
Dang.
The most daunting of which being the high number of flight hours needed. And so, on September 27th, 2023, Connor was
So, my question first off is, if you get flight hours, do you need to do it with a professional? Because I know it sounds silly. No, yeah, no, it's a silly question, but like, if the student training messes up, what is the professional gonna do? Fix it super fast? Not really. I mean, it depends on the mistake. I don't know. I'm speaking of obliviousness. That's not a word.
scheduled for a nighttime flight with ATP instructor Timothy McKellar, in which he would pilot a small prop plane on a 3-hour-long journey, thus bringing him 3 hours
plane.
closer to that coveted license. McKellar was just 22, a young man himself, and he had not been Timothy's usual instructor, but that day he was the only pilot available to assist Connor. In fact, it was the first time the two had ever even flown together. And it was clear from the get-go that it was probably going to be their last.
What?
Recognizing the importance of checking over your plane before takeoff, Connor had begun performing a lengthy check of the craft to ensure that everything was in working order. Exactly what most instructors would probably want to see from their students. But apparently not McKellar. As unbeknownst to Connor, his flight instructor had pulled out his cell phone during his checks and recorded the following video for his Snapchat.
Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so idiotic. Why post that on your story? Well, was it on his story? Yeah, it was. Or no, that's not, didn't say story at the top. Why post this to anyone? Why, like, dude, you're just bullying a random kid and posting it to people. Like, dude, you're just not promoting safety? Is that really, like, dude? Oh my god, I don't get it. Like, I kind of get it, like, oh yeah, I want to get this done with, but at the same time, bro, like, dude, safety first. Do you not care about your life?
The post was scathing, and despite the student pilot not doing anything out of the ordinary, McKellar seemed displeased at the speed at which Connor was operating, telling his friends on Snapchat how glad he was that Connor wasn't his full-time student, and that he'd seen faster movement at the Special Olympics. It was
Wait,
clear
that's what that said? Oh, nah. Okay, yeah, no, this is just evil. Okay.
McKellar wanted no part of this flight, and that the two could be in for a long, tense evening, with McKellar's passive-aggressive attitude only continuing on from here.
Oh, jeez. There's a plane crash that happened in Russia, and an ammunition depot of missiles has exploded. Well, when was this? I don't know. I don't have to be up at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow or nothing. Let's take our sweet time and have a conversation instead of getting this 3-hour flight done. Why are you sending this to people? Bro, this is the problem with this is the problem with Snapchat and Instagram and all that, is that people for some reason love to post every single moment of their life and just all the time. It's like, dude, who actually is sitting there going, oh man, this is eventful. Wow, I'm so glad I went on my way. Let's be honest, 99% of people, when they check stories or snaps or whatever it is, they just tap on it, they look at it for 2 seconds, they tap off. They're not like, oh man, this guy's so cool, or oh wow, look at his life. This is stupid. You forgot about Snapchat? Bro, so many people use Snapchat that's just become part of my life, unfortunately. I don't think it's horrible, but I do think the problem with it is that, I don't like how the whole snaps go away thing because it's very frustrating. Especially when, you know, you're just like you want to look back at something and oh, if it wasn't saved, now it's gone forever. Or the whole thing of like, oh, you can see when people are looking in your chat. That's, I mean, it's convenient but also annoying because you can just see when people are purposely like looking at your messages and not responding. It's just another level of drama that's not needed remotely. I mean, I don't deal with it that much because frankly, I'm not on Snapchat enough to deal with it, but it's still like sometimes I'll be like, dude, I can see you looked at my chat, but you didn't say anything. Okay, I see how it is. It's like, dude, is that really necessary? You only use Facebook. Okay, we know that's a lie. Bro's posting the time, by the way. Like, oh my god, who cares what time it is? This guy pisses me off.
The caption
Drumming
here
your
sheds more light
fingers
on
is
why
so
McKellar
ridiculous.
seemed so frustrated. As he typed, "I don't have to be up at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow or nothing. Let's take our sweet-ass time and have a conversation instead of getting this 3-hour flight done." But that frustration obviously can't excuse his comment
Facebook clears social media? There's no way. I don't believe that for a second. There's no way.
or his demeanor, as in this scenario he was the teacher, there to support and mentor Connor, yet instead he was lambasting him behind his back on social media, and making it apparent to the young student that he was being a burden, as he tapped his fingers obnoxiously on the plane.
Oh my god,
And
that
these
move
posts
is
continued
so
from here,
frustrating.
as the next Snapchat shows that the two had finally made it inside the craft and had now taken off.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, get out of here, bro. Like, dude, he's still not the smartest in his class. Bro, he's learning, bro. That's like going into a car and like driver's ed or whatever and being like, oh my god, this guy's he doesn't know how to go to the speed limit yet, or he's not comfortable being on this going on a highway going 60 miles per hour. Oh, I'm gonna make fun of him. Like, bro, what, like, excuse me? Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, and it's our first time driving too. It's like, okay, bro. Like, this is stupid. Bro can't talk when he's sipping out of a baby sippy cup? Bro, this is not a baby sippy cup. This is literally, what's it called? The cups they give you for refill cups at Orlando. Oh, wait, Orlando Studios. They give you these refill cups and you can get unlimited pop with these for 1 day. They have a code at the bottom that expires. So this is expired 2 years ago, but almost 3 years ago. But I keep it because it's a souvenir. I'll stream plugged? It's not a plug, bro. What are we talking about? I'm not saying I'll go to Orlando, bro. Okay. Can you increase your stream mic volume because you still quiet when I have my volume at 100? Bro, I can't do anything about it. I'm at max audio. That's just the reality. There's not much I could do. Actually, there is something I can do. I don't feel like going into it. I'm just gonna watch the video.
Now obviously there's a lot of context missing here. It could have been possible that Connor had said something that irked McKellar, or that he was just not being responsive to any advice given. But this seems to be immediately disproven by yet another Snapchat that McKellar
Oh my
posted.
god, what are we gonna say now?
1.6 hours into the flight of me giving it to him straight up. "Forrest, I don't mind you being hard on me. I know I need it." Me thinking to myself, did you really think I cared if you minded? But what I actually said is that we're flying planes, not driving cars. We can't have these weak areas this far in the game. The caption seemed to
my
confirm that Connor was clearly
God.
trying to learn and get better, since after all, he was just a student and only 18 years old. But this didn't matter to McKellar, and unfortunately for Connor, this nightmare of a flight was about to get much, much worse.
How does it get worse? How does anything bad happen though? He did his checks.
Headed our way
Oh my god, he's still going? Headed our way like a group of pissed off hornets. What is this? Oh my god, bro. Oh, I see what you're saying. The weather, okay. Okay, it all makes sense.
like a group of pissed off hornets. McKellar posted, accompanied by a screenshot of a weather radar
So I
showing
already know
heavy
where this is going.
rainstorms in the direction in which they were headed.
Oh, so this guy is delusional and decides let me guess. He's gonna be like, oh, well, you can go through the weather. It's good for your training. And then they collapse in the weather and then they die. Oh, I guarantee that's where it's going, and it's gonna piss me off if that's actually the story because, dude, this guy has knowledge of it. I guarantee the driver does not.
This was the final post ever made to McKellar's Snapchat, as moments later, the small craft would lose contact with flight control and disappear into the stormy night sky.
Oh, genius.
It wouldn't take long for the plane to be found, or at least what was left of it, as using the final posting from Timothy's Snapchat story, a search team was able to track the craft down to a wooded area behind a church, with the flight having ended in a terrible crash due to the turbulence from that storm.
Wow, genius.
And inside that mangled mess of steel were the bodies of Connor Quisenberry and Timothy McKellar, neither of whom survived the impact. With Connor's final night on this earth having been spent facing intense ridicule both in real life and on social media, making these Snapchats some of the more depressing content out there on the internet.
Yeah, that is pretty. Why is it so low quality? English with teacher Luke? Okay, what could possibly go wrong?
Add ed at the end of irregular verbs when making them in the past tense.
Oh my god.
That's only for regular verbs.
This is
irregular verbs? Wait. Irregular? Do I go... no, I'm not going down a rabbit hole. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure out what... I mean, I can get a guess of what these are, like irregular. I don't get the difference necessarily, but I guess it's not my problem.
Rockwell, or as some of you may know him as Teacher Luke. Raised in Melbourne, Florida, the now 29-year-old was introduced to a wide online audience around the time that TikTok began exploding in popularity in the United States. The premise of his account seemed simple enough from afar. Luke was an excellent speaker and used his understanding of the English language to create short-form videos centered around proper pronunciation and phrasing.
Do not say, explain me or explain you. Instead, you should add the word to. For example, I'm going to explain to you.
Oh, wait. No, okay. I was... okay. Yeah, never mind. I was about to, like, completely have a breakdown because me like, who says explain you this? I'm going to explain you this, and then I realize, wait, that's something I would use. And I realized, oh wait, this guy's actually helpful. So, alright.
Teacher Luke's account had immediately become an asset for foreign speakers to better understand the language, though this wasn't all the account consisted of, as he'd also post a variety of other mildly interesting travel-related videos.
Top countries that are the most dangerous to travel to in the year 2022.
And at some, he even took a go at making some more comedic-based content.
I didn't realize until I came to Thailand that I hate Thais.
What?
I'm just gonna say it.
Why?
The weather is just too hot, man, to wear them around your neck.
But none of these were...
Okay. I feel like that was not... Okay. I think he was talking about the ties you put around your neck, not the... Okay. So, alright, why did you censor the word? I don't know what his joke was, honestly.
Were the reason that the account grew to the size it did, as initially his page was followed by nearly 3 million TikTok users.
3 million? I've never heard of this guy.
Content, leading to some clips that I'm certain some of you have seen before.
How do you say this word?
What?
Today I'm going to teach you 3 different ways to say this word.
Alright, let's just feel 3 different ways. Alright, I don't know if I want to watch this.
Some have a hard R and some do not.
Negro is the common word used to call black people in Thailand. When I first moved here, I was shocked to hear it because in Western culture, it's a pretty offensive word.
It's hard to label this content that thrust Luke's page into the spot.
Well, okay, you can't just say there's 3 ways to pronounce this and not show the clip of him pronouncing it. Like, come on. Check his TikTok? I'm not in the mood. I don't... English with teacher... I don't feel like going down that rabbit hole. I don't want... Because I have to log into TikTok, because I haven't been on TikTok in, like, literally forever, so... I'm not trying to log in right now, it's just not my thing. Do they, black people need to think first before they get physical? It's crazy to say, bro. That's crazy, bro. I don't... This guy was obviously not gonna get physical over this. Like, he's obviously joking, bro. Like, what?
Black people in Thailand. When I first moved here, I was shocked to hear it.
Because let's be honest, if he was in the public and heard this, he would not just be like, I'm gonna throw a chair. Like, no. Because these people have morals.
Because in Western culture, it's a pretty offensive word.
It's hard to label this content that thrust Luke's page into the spotlight, but I guess it could be described as baiting his audience into thinking he's saying something problematic, but instead making it a loosely educational moment, thus vindicating himself from anything he said. Like I mentioned before, these videos were definitely edgy, so much so that in 2020, his page was actually terminated by TikTok, thus leaving him all the way back at square one.
2020?
Undeterred though, he kept on creating, launching a new account under the username English with Teacher Luke, and within only 1 year, it had already gained over 1 million followers back.
1 million followers on this account, thank you.
That video is wild? What video? Oh, I know. Oh, this one? Yeah, that's pretty... it's actually pretty funny, yeah. Imagine saying that to a girl, though.
Account under the username English with Teacher Luke, and within only 1 year, it had already gained over 1 million followers back.
1 million followers on this account, thank you guys so much. It's so crazy that 1 year ago on my old account, I hit 1 million on the same day.
His content was seemingly
suspicious.
Inevitable, with each video being...
So my problem with this is, if you... I don't get why you'd ban someone and not just, like, ban all the other accounts like how YouTube does. Because if you're gonna bother banning someone, why are you just allowing them to come back on the platform, make a whole following again? Like, dude, what are we doing? What's the point of banning them to begin with? They accomplish nothing.
Being primed for virality. But what many might not have known was that his passion for the English language, as unserious as it may seem from these videos, reached far deeper than just the online world. In 2019, Luke packed his bags and moved all the way across the world to Thailand, where he would use his love of the language to get a job as an English teacher, working with students from K-12 while simultaneously having a flourishing career on TikTok. All factions of his life were thriving, and for a moment, it seemed everything in his world was going right. How could he ever fail?
Yeah, I'm wondering this, because how is it on here? Oh. I paused at the best moment and the worst moment, because I don't want to see this, but at the same time, it explains everything. Indecent purposes. Okay.
A US teacher and TikTok star accused in Thailand of having sex with a teenager. Luke Rockwell was released on bail after he was charged in Bangkok with luring a minor for indecent purpose. With one article, one headline, the facade of English teacher Luke had crumbled. But how did it all go so wrong, and what exactly happened that led to his arrest?
What exactly happened? He was a weirdo.
Well, it started shortly before the news broke, when a 16-year-old living in Bangkok visited her doctor's office, complaining of intense stomach pain and discomfort. After administering a series of tests, doctors would determine that the girl had contracted not just one, but 2 STDs, with her only partner having been Luke Rockwell.
Well, how'd they figure that out?
Her mother was furious upon the revelation and immediately took her to the police, where a full investigation was done, revealing some truly damning information.
Yeah, okay.
It was discovered that before the pair had met up for the first time, they had been messaging back and forth for roughly 5 months. And during this time, Luke lured her and eventually convinced her to sleep with him. And while this is horrible enough, some agencies actually reported that the girl was a former student and had become a fan of his content, which led her to reconnect with her former teacher, insinuating that the grooming may have stemmed back even further than just those 5 months. But I need to note that I was unable to find any solid proof of this, so take these reports with a grain of salt. But what is known for sure is that while they were seeing each other, Luke asked the girl to keep their relationship private until she had turned 18, so as to not turn any heads. And during this time,
I mean, it's always the worst part is these people always know they're doing something wrong. You can tell because they're saying, hey, don't expose this yet. But, like, bro, it's like, dude, you're almost 99% of times, well, I shouldn't say that, but I feel like a lot of the times it's like, dude, if you're famous and you're doing this, you are going to get exposed. You're going to get exposed for it. It's easy. It's so easy. I don't even want to talk on this.
And Luke never
much more.
mentioned having STDs, and instead he promised the girl that he was clean, even lying to the point that he had showed her a copy of his
Oh my god,
medical
he lied about that? Oh my god. Oh my god. This is ridiculous.
which was likely either forged or completely out of date. Luke's actions were heinous, and his words
Yeah,
were that
because
of a
who lies about that? And then, alright, yeah,
man
I
who
just
knew he was
don't even.
doing wrong,
Alright.
yet actively trying to get away with it anyway. And if all these charges weren't horrible enough, the investigation into Luke revealed one final proverbial nail in his coffin, as the investigators had discovered undeniable proof that these alleged encounters had taken place. Proof that came in the form of video recordings that were all done without the victim's knowledge.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's even worse. Alright, this is just worse and worse.
Following the discovery, Luke was arrested and his TikTok page was removed once more. But despite the evidence for these charges lobbied against him, it appears that Luke isn't actually in prison. At least
I'm not even
yet,
surprised. You know
as
why
after
I'm not
quickly
surprised? Because these people never seem to get enough prison time. Because I don't know why. It seems like this. Like the highest I've seen for this type of stuff for as a prison sentence was 7 years. Like what? Like, dude, this is ridiculous. Because it's like, you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna get out. They're gonna be put on like restrictions. They're not gonna follow the restrictions. It's gonna happen again. They barely go to jail, and they keep repeating the cycle. And it's like, where are we gonna learn? Let's skip this part because it's cringe, and he thinks it's innocent.
Some internet users claim that they've seen him around Bangkok,
Well, it's almost over.
enjoying his life and acting as if nothing happened, even posting stories on what appears to be his secret private Instagram. I was unable to find
Secret
any updates
private
outside of
Instagram.
this, making it unclear whether Luke is still
Well,
on bail.
okay, can I question how is it secret if there's literally a photo from it that is exposed in this video? I don't get it.
If he's been taken back into custody, or if he ended up beating the charges. So for now, it's uncertain how Luke's story will end. But it's still disheartening to know that his presence is still looming out there in the shadowy corners of the online world.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, I don't like these transitions.
October
They're
25th,
weird.
2022. The bell rings throughout the halls of the Jiuan Middle School in the Jiangxi province of China, marking the start of another class period. Jiuan was not your standard middle school. For starters, it was massive,
What?
stretching roughly 600 acres around.
That's all?
and it
There's no way. All these buildings? No way. I don't believe that for a second. There's no way.
featured dorm rooms where the students would stay full-time,
Dorm
sometimes even
rooms?
being accompanied by their parents.
What?
And on top of this, the huge complex was guarded and enclosed by a large wall topped with barbed wire.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
certainly a
that's
unique place, to
weird.
say the least.
Sounds like
but as the
prison.
nearly 3,000 students across the campus piled into their different classrooms, one
3,000?
student failed to take his seat. 15-year-old Hu Xinyu.
That's not
The
a
teacher
middle
waited 5
schooler.
minutes, then 10 minutes, growing more and more annoyed at the boy's tardiness.
Wait, didn't
However,
they say this was middle school? Why? 15? What? Middle school? No.
this annoyance would slowly turn to worry, as by the time the class period had ended, there was still no sign of the boy, prompting an immediate campus-wide search, yet he was nowhere to be found. And most chillingly, there was no record of him leaving out of the school's guarded exit.
They have
Confused,
records of that?
staff checked the campus security footage, where they would find Hu walking out of his dormitory, heading in the direction of his class, which was located in a building no more than a few hundred feet away. Yet he never made it there. Instead, the campus cameras revealed a blind spot of only 10 meters between his dorm room and that class building. A blind spot that no student and likely no faculty, aside from maybe a select few, could have known about. And yet, within that blind spot, Hu had vanished into thin air. In between these buildings was a path that led to a large park on the premises, in which many assumed Hu had probably slipped into. But when police checked the area with their tracking dogs, their search yielded
Okay, dude,
nothing.
what is that
So they
footage?
took things a step further, this time doing a deeper search of the campus itself, even looking into septic tanks and water tanks, checking every square inch. But again, no trace of the boy was found.
Can they check ceilings? You know, the reason why I say that is because I have a feeling he's probably in the ceiling somewhere.
All they could uncover was his cell phone and other personal belongings that were left behind in his room,
Ooh,
with
that's
the only object of
suspicious.
his missing being a small recorder that he had purchased a few days
that's
before.
very suspicious.
It was believed that at the time of his disappearance, that recorder was literally the only item he had taken with him. Somehow, this young boy had disappeared within the tightly watched walls of his school, with there being no sign of him on campus and no evidence that he had ever left. Despite the fact that China, and this area in particular, is blanketed in cameras, seemingly watching every single inch. But Hu was nowhere. It was as if the school...
And you know what my immediate suspicion is? My immediate suspicion is that one of the people who knows, like, works the cameras and watches them probably did it. But why?
...had swallowed him whole. Shortly after his disappearance, Hu's mother began desperately posting to Douyin under the account Xinyu's Mother Searching for Son, where she begged the public for help in finding her missing child, with the clips of these plaintive pleas sparking immense interest from a vast number of people across the web, leading to the case immediately exploding in popularity that only continued to grow as new disturbing information began to surface. It started with a revelation made by an internet user in China who mentioned that Hu was not the first student to go missing from the school.
Oh.
In fact, these disappearances were becoming seemingly a yearly occurrence, prompting immediate speculation about the school.
Okay. So, how is... I just... Okay. If there was yearly missing people in school, bro, I think I'd shut down the school after like 2 or 3 years, because that's suspicious.
And their potential involvement in these disappearances, with the school becoming more suspicious as reports began emerging that once police had arrived, they realized that there was data missing from the CCTV cameras, with many of the cameras on the premises conveniently malfunctioning on that specific day that Hu had vanished, almost as if the footage had been deleted afterwards. But not before one of the guards had supposedly snuck a video, which he claimed exposed what really happened that fateful day.
Oh, nah. What am I looking at? What am I looking at?
I'm not sure if I'll be able to show it here, but the grainy CCTV footage shows what looks to be a young boy, lying limp before being placed onto a stretcher and carried away, with many online taking the clip and running with it, claiming adamantly that it was Hu and that he had clearly been kidnapped. And this wasn't the only supposed recording of the incident, with the other evidence coming from the recorder that Hu had been carrying. But although at this point the device was never recovered, one internet user...
What do you mean it was... There's so much wrong with what's being said, because, like, first off, this security guard, like, who's supposed to be, you know, taking things seriously and, like, securing the place, is recording instead of helping. That's a little suspicious. And the second thing is if this audio device is gone, how in the world can you possibly say we have audio from the device if no one's found it? Explain to me that one.
User claimed that it featured a cloud storage system in which he was able to hack into and access Hu's final recording from that day.
I mean,
with this
maybe.
clip being even more disturbing.
I don't know if I want to hear it.
With all these claims and supposed evidence making their way across the internet, everything seemed to point to Hu's disappearance as being one massive conspiracy, one in which the school was not only working to cover up, but also seemed to actively play a role in. But why? What was so special about Hu that made him a target? Well, one account from a supposed student of the very same school stated that before the boy had vanished, the school held a mandatory health evaluation, where Hu's blood was drawn, revealing that his blood type was P.
What?
And if that doesn't sound like any sort of blood type you've heard before, it's because it's one of the rarest in the world.
Okay, I don't believe... No, there's no way that all these years I've been talking about blood type for like the last 2 years of my science classes, they have never mentioned of this at all. There's no way. What? What? ABH blood. What? Really? Your blood has a normal pH rating of 7. Oh my god, this means your blood is slightly alkaline or basic. Your stomach acid has a pH of... I don't know about this stuff, so I actually, for some reason, I read that and I didn't realize what I was reading, so I have no clue what that means. But still, what? This is real? Why has no one told me about this, ever? And this is the type of stuff that makes you wonder, like, what would happen if they just updated the curriculum in schools? Because, bro, this would be so cool to learn about, right? No, but no, they never got taught that. Like, dude, seriously?
As in China, only about 1 dozen out of 1 million people have it. Because of this, it was claimed that
1 dozen? Wait, how 1 dozen how many?
About 1 dozen out of 1 million people
Oh,
have
okay.
it. Because of this, it was claimed that who had been killed in order for his
Oh. Oh no.
organs to be harvested and used as a transplant for a local official who shared the same rare blood type.
Oh.
The story was compelling, and with the school's suspicious history of disappearances, people in the area began to...
Okay, yeah, but if there's yearly disappearances and what they said there's 3,000 people enrolled, dude, the odds of finding that many people is so low. Because it's 12 in a million. So what? Let's just do 12 divided by a million quickly. 12 divided by 1. That is, what is that? It's a 0.0012% chance. Wow. Yeah, actually, I don't know why I had to use a calculator for that, but whatever. Where is the video? Okay, there it is. This is ridiculous.
Protest at its gate, demanding to know what was going on, to which the principal and the staff lashed out in anger, acting crazed as if they had something to hide. Which only added further fuel to the fire.
Yeah,
And
this
with all
is
these disturbing
a weird
accounts and
story.
details coming out from all across the web, the fire raged more and more intensely as the theories grew wilder and wilder, until January 29th, 2023, when a man walking his dog stumbled across the body of Hu Xinyu as it hung lifelessly in the woods, alongside a brick wall just barely 60 meters away from his school. Next to his body was the voice recorder that had multiple audio messages stating his intentions to end his own life, which was done using his own 2 shoelaces. In the time since his body was discovered, lots of new information has been brought forward by officials, who sternly stated that both...
Okay, so... What? I'm still shocked there's a type P blood. Like, that's just
both the
ridiculous.
recording
I can't
and the
get over
video of
that.
Hu had been completely faked, along with a variety of other details that the press had leaked, and that an autopsy revealed that he had no injuries other than those that were self-inflicted, and most importantly, that the body included all of its organs. It was also discovered that his journal revealed that he was more troubled than many had believed, and that he was going through a difficult time, with his grades suffering drastically, leading to these dark thoughts. The whole case was honestly a mess, and especially the coverage during the height of its popularity, as it's now clear that people were simply making up stories and even evidence, which the media ran with without question, leaving us in a strange place where it's impossible to tell which stories and which details were actually real. But to this day, the case still remains polarizing, with many continuing their suspicion of the school and their involvement.
Well,
with the most common argument...
Okay, yeah, but, like... Now it's just like, you can't say the whole, like, theory because he's got his organs in his body, bro.
being that the school had been searched over and over and over again, and yet no one saw the body.
Yeah, that's true.
Along with this, many have taken exception to the idea that Hu could have carried this all out with just his shoelaces, as he was there for over 3 months. Could they really have supported his entire body weight for that long without
Yeah, I
snapping?
don't know.
Well, some people actually tested out the strength of these shoelaces to see for themselves,
Oh,
leading to
jeez.
various degrees of success.
Okay, yeah, but that doesn't look like normal shoelaces. Oh, no way.
Prompting the theory that Hu's body was somehow planted there afterwards, or that it
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean, that
even
does
him.
seem suspicious.
So despite this case technically being closed and the investigation now over, it's still very much alive here in the online world, where people continue to question what exactly happened to Hu Xinyu.
take a look at Dewey's Rules of Water Safety. Now, if you ever find yourself in trouble in the water, relax. If there's an emergency, go to the nearest telephone and dial 911. You got it? Good.
Okay.
It was a freak occurrence. 47-year-old Deborah Stevens was making her way through her typical route delivering newspapers when suddenly the skies opened up, dropping down a historic flood on Fort Smith, Arkansas. But knowing she had a job to do, Deborah pushed on, dodging closed and flooded roads in an attempt to get to her usual paper route. A risky decision that proved costly. As upon attempting to take a new path behind a set of apartment buildings, Deborah's car would be swept up into the floodwaters, pinning her vehicle against a set of trees. And in a panic, she calls the police.
911, where's your emergency?
I have an emergency, a severe emergency. I'm in a flooding. My car veered off the road while I was doing my newspapers, and I'm flooded over here on the end of Kincaid, and it's all the way up to my windows, and I can't get out.
Oh, yeah, oh, no.
Can you please help me really bad?
I need you to calm down. I need you to tell me where you are.
Upon establishing contact with 911 operator Donna Renew, the two began their work trying to determine where exactly she had been trapped, as this area was completely unfamiliar to Deborah.
I don't know, ma'am. I'm on the end of Kincaid down here by these apartments. There's some apartments on Kincaid. I don't know what they're called.
What color is your vehicle?
Yeah, dark. It's gray SUV, lady. The water's all the way up to my windows.
Okay, hold on for me. Don't hang up. And you're at close to the area 5801 Kincaid?
I get it's their job. It's just like, whenever I hear these type of things, there's a reason why there's like a meme where it's like, oh, they just ask for more and more information. Well, I don't know if that's a meme, but it's a consensus.
Yes, ma'am, I need help right now.
The urgency of the situation is clear just by hearing Deborah's voice, as she pleads with the operator to send someone out to her as soon as possible, recognizing that the water was likely going to consume her in the following minutes.
I mean,
leading to
she's
Deborah
doomed
growing
either
more
way.
Please send somebody fast to get me. I'm scared.
Okay, listen
I can't swim. I can't swim. I'm gonna drown.
You're not gonna drown. Just calm down.
Well, ma'am, it's all the way up to my chest.
I understand. Hold on for me.
Oh, it's in the car. That's yeah, she's good.
It's fine to be scared. You have a right to be scared.
I'm scared.
Though this is where this fairly normal 911 call begins to take a strange turn, as Deborah's urgency was not reciprocated by the operator, who began to not only dismiss Deborah's worries, but seemingly become annoyed at the trapped woman.
Somebody save me.
Am I not on the phone with you trying to get you some help?
Yes, but I
Okay,
need
so
somebody to get me out before I die. I'm sorry.
You're not going to die. I don't know why you're freaking out. It's okay. I know the water level is high. I understand that, but you freaking out doing nothing but losing your oxygen up in there. So just calm down.
Okay, we're really gonna hate on this, because this, honestly, is not even that bad of advice. She's basically just saying, hey, be calm, because when you're calm in these types of situations, you think better. You think clearer.
Are they not gonna come get me?
You said what? I'm sorry?
When are they gonna be here?
As soon as they get there.
Man, my phone's gonna die, and they're not gonna find me, and it's gonna ruin my brand new phone.
Do you really care about your brand new phone? I mean, you're over there crying for your life. Who cares about your phone?
And this frustration only grew more and more visceral, as she then began to place the blame onto Deborah for getting into this predicament in the first place.
Oh, come on.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I'm rude, but I'm scared.
You're not being rude. I know you're scared. Just calm down for me.
I'm scared. I've never had anything like this happen to me before.
Well, this will teach you next time. Don't drive in the water.
Couldn't see it, ma'am. I'm sorry, or I wouldn't have.
I don't see how you didn't see it. You had to go right.
Alright, yeah, okay.
No, ma'am, I was in
We're just making a joke out of it. That's.
There was no water where I was at.
Okay. The water just didn't appear.
At this point, the call had been going on for well over 15 minutes.
I mean, I kind of understand why, like, the way she speaks. I kind of get it, but at the same time, I mean, it's kind of, you're going a little too far, okay?
Still, no help had become visible to Deborah, who, despite knowing just how close to death she was, remained as composed as she could be, just thankful to have someone there talking to her, even if that person on the other end of the line was dismissing her and demeaning her.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What's your name?
Donna.
Donna, thank you for being here for me, Miss Donna.
You're welcome.
Though all of this failed to stop
yeah, I mean,
the
she
obvious
doesn't even sound like she cares, though.
annoyance of the operator, who, after nearly 20 minutes now, couldn't help but sneak in a laugh.
in between both apartment complexes on this street at the dead end.
In the very back side, there's a bunch of trees.
I don't know. Right there, she showed us 5801 at the end.
Before finally just losing it.
These people are out, they can all see me. They're all standing out there watching us.
Miss Debbie, you're gonna have to shut up, okay?
Oh.
I need you to listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
The whole call had been leading up to this moment, as Donna's frustration had finally boiled over.
Oh, yeah,
as she straight up
that's bad.
tells the helpless woman to shut up. Though despite this demand, Deborah couldn't keep quiet for long, as the situation that was teetering on the edge of life and death suddenly collapsed.
It's helping me ping your location, so don't hang up on me. Okay, where are you moving to? Tell me where it's going.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say except I'm just disappointed in this all because, bro. Where, like, the first instinct of you is to say, where's it moved to? You're underwater, bro. Where are you? How are you supposed to see? Like, oh my god, this person doesn't think at all. I get it's her job, but dude. And then, of course, you got these stupid laughter issue. Like, oh my god. I guarantee what she's about to say. Oh, well, you can't breathe if you're speaking. I guarantee she's gonna say that.
Okay, tell me where you are.
Oh my god, NPC. No, this is just an NPC that's developed to purposely trigger you. That's exactly what this is.
Listen to me, hold on. I'm on the phone with her right now. She is legit freaking out. She said the vehicle is now moving in the water and she doesn't know which way it's going, so stand by. Bye.
Okay, the editing just makes this 10 times more, like, creepy. Okay, can we chill? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I don't know if I want to see this.
I'm standing around the very back side of the apartment complex on the...
See, the problem is it's very difficult to, like... It's gonna be very, very difficult to really, like, find her, dude, because she didn't know where she was.
southeast side, and the only part of her car I can see is the roof and the dome light that's on in it.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? What, like...
I can't get out there to her, and you're gonna have to wait out here to me to get to me, so...
It would take officers approximately 12 hours to find Deborah's car.
12
where
hours?
Inside, she was dead. Her final moments of life being captured on a 911 call, where the operator couldn't even pretend to care. And her predicament was made even more heartbreaking in hindsight, as it was revealed that Deborah was handicapped and couldn't even swim. In fact, she had a crippling fear of water. Following the release of this dispatch call to the public, heavy criticism was immediately placed onto Donna Renew, with hundreds and thousands of people signing petitions calling for criminal charges to be made against her. But no such charges were ever made. In fact,
I mean, what criminal charges can you do for that, though? I don't know. I don't think there's really much you can do.
She wasn't even fired for her role.
Well,
because this was her final shift anyway. She had submitted her 2 weeks notice exactly 2 weeks before.
Oh, wow,
and this just so happened to be her final shift, which perhaps explains her attitude.
Oh my god, how could you... Oh my god. How can you... dude, just quit the job. Oh my god. Oh my god, so she got no punishments at all. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the one time where I think the internet should, like, actually do something about this and actually, like, be evil. Which sounds... Actually, I shouldn't say that, because that's not justified. I don't think anyone deserves the wrath of the internet, but, like, dude. This lady... It's like, bro... If you're gonna put your 2 weeks in for a job like that, where you're saving people's lives, put effort.
One last cruel twist to the story. Just 3 weeks after Deborah's passing, her mother Nancy would pass as well, with family members claiming that it was due to a broken heart, and the stress caused by the ordeal. Though despite this, and the fact that Donna Renew has never apologized for her actions, Deborah's family has gone on to forgive her nonetheless, with this amazing act of virtue shining a faint light on one of the darkest cases I've ever come across.
Wait, that's the darkest case? Oh, I don't know if that's... Okay. I wouldn't say that. I feel like there's ones more disturbing, but whatever. I just this footage, bro. Like this guy edits his videos so like good, bro. Oh my god, my voice cracked. Like, bro, I actually was like, dude, sometimes, like, in between, like, transitions of stories, he edits it so it's, like, creepy, bro. Like, oh my god. Yeah, most of these comments are talking about the last story, about the 911, because, you know, obviously everyone's very upset. Justifiably, honestly. But to be fair, I feel like even if the instructor, you know, like, the operator actually was good, it's like, what are the police gonna do, dude? It's like your car is buried in water. Where are you gonna find, how are you gonna find the car when they don't even know where, the person doesn't know where she's located? Like, it's just not gonna happen.